Kids always appreciate this. Over to the right, rock stars living up in this place, red tile roof. See them up there? The chipmunks. Here's Alvin and the rest of the chipmunks. Again, the kids think that's kind of cute. I actually happen to think that's kind of creepy. The chipmunks are the only thing up in that room. There's no furniture there, no wall hanging, no nothing, just the chipmunks. But if you can afford yourself a $15 million home, you can decorate it any way you want. That's probably what that home's worth. That's built on 2 lots. That's why it's up there in price. So this peninsula, there's 2 piers along the peninsula. You guys got on board opposite the Balboa Pier. You saw the commercial area right there up at the top of the peninsula is the Newport Pier. A lot of restaurants and shops up there. And where we are right now, this is all residential. We're actually at the narrowest spot of the peninsula. Look over to the right. You can actually look all the way across right here. It's just 2 homes wide. You've got this bayside home, Balboa Boulevard, and that second home sits over there on the ocean beach. So the absolute narrowest spot of the peninsula right here. Beyond this, it actually broadens out as we head towards the ocean. You can see the peninsula curving over to the left here. Balboa Boulevard actually splits into 3 streets just beyond there. There we go. And we're going to find you guys sea lions out in the ocean, but some of you were with us last hour. We saw some in here in the harbor. And you can see evidence of this swimming into the harbor. See these docks right here? See the buckets on the dock and the ladder, overturned patio furniture? This has been put out by the homeowners right here to try to keep sea lions off their docks. Sea lions swim into the harbor looking for a nice place to lay out in the sun, and nothing looks better to them than some of these docks over here to the right. Likewise, they like to go on some of the boats. We actually saw a couple of sea lions laying out on boats earlier too. So you'll see a lot of debris left on the docks. Here's a dock with a bunch of Home Depot buckets on it. You might think sea lions are cute. Why wouldn't you mind them on your boat or dock? Well, adult male sea lions can weigh upwards of 600 or 700 pounds. So they can do some serious damage to a dock or boat. In fact, you get a couple on your dock and they can end up breaking up the dock, twisting up the wood on the dock. And every year a couple of small boats are sunk in the harbor because of sea lions congregating on them. And even if they don't sink your boat or break your dock, because of all the fishing they eat, they've got terribly oily skin. So wherever they've laid their bodies, you get a big stinky stain that will literally last for weeks. And that's even if they don't leave any other sort of deposit, which they oftentimes do. So here's another celebrity home coming up over to the right. It's got the home's got the multicolored tile roof and the orange awning up on the 2nd floor. This is a weekend getaway home of suspense thriller novelist Dean Koontz, who writes a bunch of scary books. A lot of his books are set right here in Orange County. New York Times best-selling author. A bunch of titles are printed. Again, that's just a weekend home of his. He's not there all the time. He lives full-time out in front of us up in the Newport Coast area. And then this home right here with the red tile roof and the solar panel, longtime home of Bill Medley, a surviving member of the Righteous Brothers. You can remember their songs, Unchained Melody, Lost That Loving Feeling. He was about a 40-year resident here in the harbor. He actually just sold that home 2 summers ago, moved down to South Orange County. And this home coming up right here, modern home over on the right, tall skinny windows, flat roof. This is a long-time home of the Segerstrom family. Henry Segerstrom was a farmer in this area. He had a bunch of property up by the Orange County Airport where he farmed lima beans. He did that for a number of years until one day he had the very smart idea of plowing his fields under, and he built South Coast Plaza shopping mall on his land. If any of you guys have been up to South Coast, you know how enormous that place is. Largest mall west of Mississippi, highest grossing mall in the U.S. Once Henry built that place, he was farming cash. Now look at that home, 7,000 square feet. It goes all the way out to the boulevard. And that home has just 1 bedroom in it. Henry and his wife built that as their dream place. Friends used to always ask, why just 1 bedroom in your beautiful new home? And they said, well, that's simple to explain. Our kids are grown these days. So it's great if the kids and grandkids come to visit. We just don't want them spending the night. Hey, look, you guys, a little stowaway on that boat over to the left. Look at that little guy right there. That is a newborn sea lion pup hanging out in the back of the boat.
Oh, yeah.
He's seen the big boys do it, so he's hanging out there getting some rays. Look at that. How cute is that?
Aww.
Yeah, just wait 2 years till he's 400 pounds. Putting a hurt on that boat. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's a lot of construction going on throughout the harbor. We've probably passed 5 or 6 places already. But look at this place over here to the right. They've been working on this place really hard for the last couple of years, and actually looks like they're getting close to the finish line. I guess the last thing you do in Newport after you build your beautiful home is you put your new dock in, and that's what they're doing right here. Like I said, this has been in the works for 2 years. Prior to this place taking shape, there's a beautiful Italian home that sat here. That home sold 3 years ago, sold for $14 million. And you know the first thing that new owner did with that home, once they took possession? Bulldozed it. Yep. Bought themselves a $14 million teardown. Now they've built themselves a place like they want it.
Oh my goodness, wow.
And now, off to the right, here's a home that's been a long-time favorite here in the harbor. It's this cream-colored home, blue-gray shutters right here, big shake roof. This is the longtime home of actor, comedian George Burns and his wife, Gracie Allen. They lived here for a long time. Finally sold the home, sold it to the Shea family, their local home developers. They're also big golf fans. They put a putting green in the backyard right there. You guys might be able to see the balls on the green and the little holes over the little sticks over the holes. Anyway, it said when they dug up that backyard to put in the putting green, they found thousands of cigar butts. Apparently George wasn't allowed to smoke his famous cigars in the house. And then this home coming up, fancy boat in front of it. Home's got the yellow curtains. Well, this is certainly an interesting place. It belongs to our local drug dealer. A guy named Milan lives here. He's Yugoslavian. He was that country's prime minister for all of a couple months back in the 1990s after their civil war. Anyway, his name's Milan Konic, and he actually started ICN Pharmaceuticals here in Costa Mesa, so he's legit. He's done very well for himself. Look at this boat right here. That's a $1.5 million boat, 70 feet long. That's just his little weekend toy. He's got himself a 130-foot yacht, $20 million boat up at the other end of the harbor. Some of you guys saw it earlier, the Bellissima.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry,
and if anybody's in the market for a home, this home right here, Mediterranean style with the multicolored tile roof, well, this is on the market. Bought a few years back by a guy named Fletcher Jones. Wow. It's Fletcher Jones Motor Car, Mercedes-Benz here in Newport, the largest Mercedes-Benz dealers in the country. He bought this home for about $20 million. Didn't live in it that long. He subsequently bought himself a bigger place in the Newport Coast area. That's where he lives now. Got that home back on the market, listed at $30 million. And then this home right here, green awnings. Well, this home at one point in time was bought by an 11-year-old child. That's right, 11-year-old childhood actress Shirley Temple. Made her first couple of movies. Actually made 4 movies by age 11. She was able to purchase that home with her own money. Let her folks move into it with her. That was nice of her. When she turned 13, she was crowned the first Miss Newport Beach.
Wow.
Oh, there's somebody in there.
Just finished that place. I don't think he's living in it. I think they just
Oh, is that there's
died
people in there?
Yeah. It's the first time I've seen all the lights are on this place.
So you guys, we made our way down to the very end of the peninsula. That's the ocean out front of us. The last home's in Newport over here on the right. This is the Peninsula Point neighborhood. This pink home coming up right on the corner right here. This home up until 2 years ago was owned by the Cathy family. Sure, Cathy, he was the founder of the Chick-fil-A restaurant chain, so a lot of chicken nuggets went into building that place. I've been waiting all day long to figure out this pink flamingo. Somebody set it up this morning, and there's people down on the dock. I figure they ought to be shoving off pretty soon. I find them floating around the bay late into the night tonight. And a really interesting home right here at the very end. Home with the red tile roof. Enjoyed that. case. These guys were grown men, but they hated each other. Once they were under the same roof without dad there, they fought like children. In fact, they fought so badly that they ended up splitting the home two, boarding up the hallways and ground down in the middle. Used to be one home, it's split in half now. Now the older son,
That's a good idea.
he got the outermost home here, one closest to the harbor entrance, and during his subsequent feud with his younger brother, he went out and he hired himself a general contractor, built his home 15 feet further out towards the water here, just to block his little brother's view of the ocean out in front of us. How's that for brotherly love? Don't normally get this close to the rocks, but the water is so clear today. I wanted to get over here to the rocks so you guys can actually see the bottom. You can see the light green color closer to the rocks. That's the sandy bottom right there. Very clear water.
Wish you were here. Hey, cuz. I don't really know how to work this live thing. This is like my first one, so I don't know how to add you guys, like, so you can talk back to me. Huh? No. Going back, so we might see some sea life. I'm in California. Newport Beach. Can you guys hear me? Daddy, can they hear me on live?
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? We are here on the tour Newport Beach, Balboa today, and we are having a good time. This is so gorgeous. We did the first part. This was 45 minutes, and then
Lost my
the
service.
second part. Now we're gonna go see the seals and other wildlife that we can find. Kind of exciting. Now we're close to the edge. Over here.
I think it's starting to warm up. I still think it's probably.
Yeah, you
about
guys, we're
65 right
I
now.
told you we're gonna go see sea lions. In fact, I'll promise
It usually doesn't
sea lions.
get
We already saw that little
like
pup. I got another unique marine mammal in front of us,
It
though.
warms up towards the
This
end of
is,
the day, and then it just cools off again.
Rather elusive creature. We don't get to see this very often. Sitting on the rocks right in front of us. A little hard to see, but you'll see him in just a second. We've got another marine mammal. You might think it's a sea lion, but this is not a sea lion. Distinctively different from a sea lion. This is a harbor seal. This is the only one we see. We see sea lions all the time. There are a dime a dozen around
Oh,
here.
there it is.
In fact, they're for those boat owners and the homeowners, they can become a nuisance. But this guy, he's very rare. Again, he's a harbor seal. I mentioned that the big male sea lions, they can weigh
Where is
upwards
it?
of 600 or 700 pounds.
Where is it?
Well, this guy, he's full grown, so he's
see it?
probably about 250 pounds,
On the rock?
maybe 300 pounds. So
It looks like that.
Oh, wow. Okay. I see
also
it.
some other
Looking right at
differences
you.
Yeah.
between this and sea
That's
lions.
cool.
Sea lions, they're not afraid at all of humans. In fact, they'd make themselves at home, like I said, on the boats and docks. They don't seem to mind people at all. Well, this guy, he's very shy. You can see him looking at us. He's not that,
Oh.
although he's gotten used to us, you can see he's somewhat comfortable, but he's shy. He does not venture into the harbor at all. This is as far as he goes into the harbor. That's his rock right there. Also, you've probably seen sea lions performing in shows. They balance the basketball on their nose. They walk around on stage. Sea lions have articulating flippers. They can walk around their front flippers. This guy does not. He's got tiny flippers. You can see his flipper up on his high side right there. He moves very poorly on dry land. Moves like a bowl of jello. He has to kind of do the worm to move around. Also, you've heard sea lions barking very loud. They've got big vocal cords. They're very boisterous. This guy's not. You never hear a peep out of this guy. Also, sea lions do have external ear flaps, a little bit like our ears. This guy does not at all. He has just a simple little ear canal. So some distinct differences. They're all marine mammals, pinnipeds, but this harbor seal is distinctively different from the sea lions. We've actually named this guy Sammy, so that's salmon seal. Now let's go look at some sea lions.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys, once we clear the rocks right here, we're on the open ocean. It's going to get a little bumpier out here. Nothing too bad, but the boat is going to get tossed around a little bit, so you need to move around, do so very carefully. Also, a little bit of chance of catching spray in the windows.
Feels familiar, right?
But the good thing is, no speed limit out here.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you guys, here we go.
Here we go. We're gonna have sea legs when we get back.
Full speed. You can see the look of terror on all you guys' faces.
Oh, yeah.
Mine too.
If we hadn't done this before, I would have been a little nervous, but oh.
You guys are on the tour.
So you guys, I told you, sea lions here at a dime a dozen here. We got our buoy full of sea lions right in front of us.
Alright, look at all those sea lions.
These guys, these are California sea lions. Again, you saw Sammy the harbor seal, but these are California sea lions. And they're hanging out in the Newport Harbor entrance buoy. Now, we're pretty lucky today. There's actually a couple types of sea lions on the buoy. There's a couple that are passed out tonight, and over here on the left side of the buoy, there's a couple with their noses up in the air. Those are Newport Beach sea lions. They think they're better than us. They're letting us know where they're from.
It's a music. It's like, oh yeah, oh yeah.
And again, that water's really clear. Pretty fun to see them swimming around.
They're like, how dare you?
Oh.
They're like, how dare you let us up? We were getting so.
Now, I don't know how parking was for you guys today. Maybe not too bad. Not the weekend yet, but parking can be tough here in Newport. It can be tough on this buoy. But actually, it's not too bad right now. There's still open space on the buoy. These three guys in the water, they can easily find a spot up on the buoy. These guys don't mind sleeping with somebody's flipper in their face or any other body part stuck on them. fact, we actually, well, you can see we put a pile 3 deep right there. Sometimes the entire buoy will be covered 3 deep with the sea lions, so there's still plenty of room.
Yeah, they do. You smell
Oh, you guys catch a whiff of them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, this isn't the Discovery Channel. We want you to have the full experience out here on the old Cool Breeze. That's that beautiful smell they have. I told you, they eat a lot of fish. They eat about 10% of their body weight every day in fish. So because of that, they're cute, but they're pretty nasty little creatures. They've got bad breath and BO.
You don't want to go over to them suckers.
Yeah, these 3 over here, they're proud Newport Beach sea lions. Look at them.
Yeah. I love it.
And you guys might notice that these sea lions have fur on them. It's a very fine fur. It's almost like velvet. It's that nice brown color. And ones that are that lighter brown, they've been out of the water long enough that they've dried out. That's their natural fur color. And you can see where they're wet, a little darker. Now, as cute as these guys are, they were actually hunted because of that fur. Back in the mid-1900s, their numbers had declined to just a couple thousand up and down the west coast. But in 1972, the Marine Mammal Protection Act kicked in, protecting these guys and all other marine creatures. So they're a protected species now, and their numbers are really strong up and down our coast. They number in the hundreds of thousands. Now this buoy they're hanging out on, this is the Newport Harbor entrance buoy. You see the NWP up on top. That reminds you, you're in Newport, in case you forgot. This is an actual Coast Guard aid to navigation. Before we had GPS, we needed buoys like this to lead us to safe harbor. So if we were headed here from someplace on the open ocean and we weren't using electronics, we could pull out a navigational chart, find the buoy on the chart, plot course here. Once we got here, we could easily see the harbor entrance. That bell's pretty loud. That sound travels pretty good distances over open water, so if it was dark and foggy, we could listen for that bell. Also, the shape of the buoy serves as a radar reflector, so if we had radar going, the buoy would light up on the radar. Up on top, there's a light that lights up at night, and in case you're wondering about those little springs up on top, it's part of a multi-million-dollar government project designed to keep seagulls off of objects. It's your tax dollars hard at work right there, you guys. Well, you guys, as cute as these sea lions are, we got other sights to see, so let's put our flippers in the air. We're going to wave see you later to these guys, just like that guy's doing to us. Actually, he's pretending he's a shark back there. Look at him now.
Yeah.
Get your last pictures in. We're going to wave see you later. Go see some other sights. So heading back towards the harbor over on the left, that's the entire length of the Balboa Peninsula. You can see over there, the 3+ miles of the peninsula. And the 2 piers I mentioned, that's the Balboa Pier closest to us, Newport Pier up at the top of the peninsula. Then it's directly in front of us, that beach just to the right of the rock steps, the main beach at Florida Del Mar, or Del Mar State Beach. Up above the beach, those high-rise buildings, Newport Center. And all the homes from directly in front of us over to 3 o'clock, all the homes right on the water's edge, that's Corona Del Mar, unincorporated area of Newport. What you're looking at, those are all single-family homes. Those aren't condos or apartments. They're all single-family homes. And then up on the hillside above Corona Del Mar, that's the Newport Coast area. That's where people like Dean Koontz, Fletcher Jones, retired Laker Kobe Bryant, basketball great Karl Malone, Michelle Pfeiffer, Wayne Gretzky, Will Ferrell, a lot of sports stars, TV personalities. We call Newport Coast home.
I wanted to go up on top.
So you guys, right in front of us to the left, this gray structure floating out here in the middle of the harbor. This is a bait barge. There's huge nets that hang down under this, and they're filled with bait fish, usually sardines and anchovies. So fishermen going offshore fishing, they'll come by here with their big fishing boats and they'll pick up scoops of bait from this thing. Now the sea lions have this figured out. They know that they can get a quick and easy snack from this place. So usually there's a bunch of sea lions hanging around, but not right now. And that structure up there on this barge, that's a studio apartment. It's a best located studio apartment in all of Newport. 360-degree ocean view. It's got at least one time. And a great location. The outside is the hours. Terrible. He's up on 24/7. Sound asleep in the middle of the night. You're not going to get an Then out in front of us, there's a gorgeous little cove right inside these rocks right there. I always imagine if you took away all the elves, if you took away the people, this would be a perfect spot for pirates to come and hide with their pirate ships. And in fact, this is called Pirates Cove.
We came to this one.
This has been used since the earliest days of film. Some of the first pirate movies were filmed right here. Movies like Captain Kidd, Captain Blood, Treasure Island, Meet Me on the Bounty. More recent years, Robin. Some of you guys might remember Gilligan's Island. They filmed the first color episode of Gilligan's Island right here on this beach. First 2 years were shot in black and white, and then they transitioned to color. They came out here to the harbor to shoot a new title sequence of the minnow going out the channel right here. Looked over, saw this beach, thought it'd be a great place to film. They came over here and filmed an episode on this beach. So this is where the poor crew of the minnow, the professor, Skipper, Ginger, Marianne, all those guys were marooned here for a number of years, and they must not have realized there's that little stairway over there on the right-hand side of the beach. That could have saved them all, but then it would have ruined the show. And then look at these homes built into the rock wall right here. My favorite is that brick home right in the middle. Look underneath it. That's a natural sea cave right there. You can see the tide going in and out underneath that home. And the builders of that place were smart enough to put a glass floor in the living room there. So the people that live there can sit in their living room and watch the tide go in and out underneath their feet. How cool is that? And this cove right here, this is called China Cove. It was named that because there used to be a pagoda-style home out in the point here. That's long gone, but still carries the name China Cove. And there on the beach, that's castle-like structure over there on the left side. That's the William Kirchhoff Marine Laboratory. Oldest working marine laboratory on the West Coast. It was first built as a beach club back in the 1920s. I actually have an old picture of this area where that's the only thing standing on this beach. Then in the 1930s, that building was used by rum runners during the Prohibition era. They used to bring their illegal liquor ashore here in the middle of the night and actually hide it in that building. And then next to that, this 6-story building right here, this is Channel Reef Condominiums. This is an older building built back in the 1970s, but still one of the best locations in the harbor. You can imagine the beautiful views that every one of these places has from those balconies right there. Now these are 2-bedroom, 2-bath units, and they sell for about $2 million. That's current price. I saw listed just a couple of weeks ago. Now look, 2 doors to the left, see the huge new construction? That's going to be condominiums. 7 units in this building when it's completed, and they are going to be huge. They're going to range in size from 3,000 to 6,500 square feet. And the small units in here, they're going to start at about $10 million. Then out in front of us, there's a couple of blue buildings. There's a blue building down the water's edge and a similar blue building up on top of the hill. This property belongs to the Irvine family. You hear that name, Irvine, throughout Orange County. Irvines were some of the original landholders in the area at one point in time, owning 100,000 acres here. They started out as ranchers and farmers until they realized how valuable their property was, and they started developing it commercially. They started the Irvine Company. The Irvine Company is still around us today, and the Irvine Company controls much of the commercial property and tens of thousands of apartment units throughout the county. Well, the Irvine family themselves, when they quit ranching and farming, they moved down here to the harbor and they settled into this property. Before they moved here, that building at the water's edge, that was one of their cattle barns. They used to load and unload cattle off of ships through there. But once they moved here, they turned that into an indoor swimming pool, bowling alley, and a big arcade and play area. And their home was up on top of the hill. Well, the Irvine family owned this property for over 100 years, but they just sold it all off in the last year. They sold that portion down the water's edge for about $12 million. And in a separate transaction, up on top of the hill, there's 2 acres up there. That sold for a record $55 million.
Got to speak a little loud.
And now directly to our right up on top of the hill, there's that big sprawling home. That's one of the largest homes in the harbor. It's about 20,000 square feet. In fact, that home is so big, you see those palm trees that look like they're behind the home. Those are actually in the inner courtyard of that home. That was built by the Washburn family. They started the 7-Up bottling company of Los Angeles. Then over to our right, there's another little beach over there in the corner. That's Carnation Cove, and that beach is oftentimes called Mother's Beach. It's a favorite beach for new moms to bring their kids to experience the water for the first time. It's always very calm over there, well protected. And it's a pretty beach too. It's been used in film. A lot of Sally Field's kitchen episodes are filmed over there. Frankie Avalon's Beach Blanket Bingo. The original Baywatch. I never kept up with the Housewives of Orange County, but they used to like to film there a lot. And now just ahead of us to the right, the other side of these moored boats is the start of our islands. Where those homes are over there, that's the start of Balboa Island. Balboa Island is one of 8 islands in the harbor. And it's our largest island, but it ends up being the largest island because it's actually made up of 3 distinct parts. Not everybody realizes that, but there's 3 different islands that make up Balboa Island. Directly to the right of us, that's Little Balboa Island. In just a minute, we're going to get beyond these boats out in front of us, and we'll be able to look over and see a break in the island, then we'll see much of the rest of the island. Now, when this harbor first started, it didn't look at all like it does today. What you see today is an entirely man-made harbor. In the early days, where we are right now is the end of the Santa Ana River. This was just a marshy wetlands area. There wasn't much open water, and there weren't distinct islands. There were just much little waterways and mud flats and sandbars. So it took the early developers to envision the harbor like we have today, and they came in and they started dredging out the harbor, making the waterways deeper and wider. And as they dredged out the water, took all the material they pulled off the bottom and they deposited that onto the sandbars, and they ended up creating islands. So again, today we've got 8 islands in the harbor and 7 are man-made islands. When they had completed the harbor, they had ended up creating the largest small boat harbor on the west coast, over 10 miles of shoreline in the harbor, and today it's home over 11,000 registered boats. Now, Balboa Island was the first island created, and it was originally built as a single island, but not long after they completed the island, they realized they needed easier access for small boats to get from the back of the island to the front, so they dug a canal through the island. If you look over to the right, you can see that canal.
I'm gonna go grocery shopping.
That's called the Grand Canal. It splits Balboa Island in two. The right-hand side of the canal is Little Balboa Island. The left-hand side is the main part of Balboa
I think
Island.
maybe. Like, these people don't want to leave their boats, right? Wow.
Oh, like the grocery store.
No, you don't. You call Daniel. Alright. I'll pick up all
Now, the
y'all.
main part of Balboa Island is the only island in the harbor with any sort of commercial development on it. If you look over to the right, you can see those 3 tall palm trees. is sit at the end of Marine Avenue. Down that street right there is the main commercial boulevard on the island. The far end is the bridge on and off the island. Down the street itself, all the great little shops, the restaurants, the neighborhood market, the post office, fire station, great little neighborhood bar called the Village Inn. That's the I know that one. But all that good stuff's down there on Marine Avenue. So you can't go cruising around to any other island in the harbor hoping to find your Starbucks spot or anything like that. You only will go to Balboa Island down Marine Avenue.
Right? Okay, crushing delivery. So, guess what, everybody? Got this, like, meet a man, and it's like,
Yeah, when they first developed Balboa Island, they ran into a little problem. There were some of the first lots on the island were starting to build their little beach cottages. And like I said, they did it. That was a couple times a year during the highest of high tides. The site was flooding. This is a brand new harbor, man-made harbor, brand new island. They didn't have a good grasp on what the tides might do in here. They ended up building the island too low for the highest high tide. So again, the island had a flooding problem, but that didn't go over too well. People would wake up to find their floors covered with a foot of water. But they had to call in the Army Corps of Engineers to help rescue the island. The Army Corps of Engineers came in and they built a seawall all the way around the island. Just inside that seawall, they put a sidewalk. If you look over there right now, you can see people walk around the island on the sidewalk. See that seawall up here at the top of the beach. Well, since it was built of funds that were needed to help save the island, it was only right to own. That's all public space. You can go over and hang out on the beaches all day long. Homeowners don't want you to think those are public beaches, but they are. The only thing that can chase you away is the high tide. So there's one home on Balboa Island you definitely have to see whenever you come over the island. It's directly in front of us right now. It's got a sign up on the second floor that says buried. And as we get close to this place, take a look at the windows of this house. Staring back at you from every single window in this place is teddy bears, or are teddy bears, I should say. The woman that owns this home, she was a school teacher, and about 30 years ago she started writing textbooks, children's textbooks, and she used bears as counting instruments in her books. Well, that got her collecting bears. People gave her bears, and you see what resulted. She's now got a house filled with bears. Now she's festive. She dresses these bears up for every holiday. So if you were here last month, they had bunny ears on for Easter. Back in February, they all were holding hearts and are dressed up as Cupids for Valentine's Day, and they'll be dressed up again for 4th of July, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Now she knows we come by her house talking about her bears. It's pretty hard to miss the cool breeze parking in your front yard every hour like we do. She knows we're talking about her bears, sharing stories with the bears, and she wants us to have accurate information to share with you guys. She's always growing her collection, so she updates us on the bear count. She actually came by our office not too long ago to let us know she's Well, with that, you guys, we're heading back to our dock. Probably not a minute too soon, huh? Anyway, it's been great having you guys on board. Now, we're here with us on a 90-minute cruise, and this is just the first half. We're going to have about a 10-minute break in the dock. Stretch your legs, get off the boat if you want to go grab that fever drink. Just be back to the boat at 4 o'clock, the top of the hour, to join us down to the other end of the harbor to see all of the sights. Celebrity Harbor Cruise. On Sunday, we got a lot of that's what do. Small upcharges, like Peter and myself know. But if you're leaving us for the day, it's been great having you guys on board. We hope you had a super time. As you're getting off the boat, if you need recommendations for restaurants or anything to do the rest of your day, let us know. They're on mention. Also, as you're getting off the boat, we do have a thank you jar. We work hard to make sure your trip's fun and enjoyable. We hope it was for you. We had a good time. I'll show you. Thanks for the really drop something in that jar. Waste of time to be in the East Second. Okay, guys, safe to get off. Just watch your step when you get off, okay?
Thank you very much.
Take care. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, you guys. Have a great day. Have a good one.